Ladies and gentlemen, I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7, the T. And I want to remind you that I was planetary defense commander before Space Force became the 6th branch of the U.S. military. And in my 7 years at THORnews, especially during times like these, which technically are unprecedented, I find it's best to look back because I am sometimes too stuck in everything to get a good perspective. And that's the same way for everybody else. You're too busy living in history as it's happening to fully let it soak in. And so we're just looking back. And so when the coronavirus first broke out and to our attention 3 weeks ago, my initial opinion on it was, all right, yeah, it's weird, but it's not that weird. And then soon my opinion changed to, okay, everybody, put on your full armor of God because it's going to get weird. And the numbers on it continue to increase, doubling every 3 days. And the information coming out of China was being restricted, but the videos coming from the people were disturbing as they locked down slowly 400 million people and it spread to other countries. And then, you know, as that was happening, they kicked Zero Hedge off of Twitter for telling people this escaped out of a bio lab. And two of the people that I've talked to basically said the same thing. And it's the feeling that I get that, yes, this is an uncontrolled event. And right now there's no vaccine. And we are getting to witness how incompetent, arrogant, or worse the global governments are when it comes to working together as on anything. And so if China is giving us bad information, which seems highly possible, then that is putting us in a bad position. And the people we rely on to tell us if China is telling us bad information is our president and Congress and the Senate. And so the House. So now it's not looking that good. So it is now down to people like me and anyone else doing what they can to cover the subject. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty bad, dude. I got no good news to report on the subject. And as I've been stating for at least the last 10 days, I think since the Q&A 2 weeks ago that the Nostradamus quatrain I read said that this disease would be a big problem in the United States of America in March. He referred to us as the proud nation, and that seems to fit the bill. And if I understand correctly, I am one of the most trusted men on the planet because I do my best to tell the truth. Yes, I make mistakes, but they're from the heart, and they're usually well-researched or well Jedi-sensed. And so one of the things at THORnews for 7 years is I've said politics is bullshit. Don't let it distract you. If they're trying to focus you on it, that means they're trying to distract you from something else. That worked under Obama. It's worked under Trump. And so I'm staying that way, man. Here we go. And our government's response to the situation, as it increases daily, has just gotten worse. Meaning like they're just ignoring it almost. Jeremy Kondike, very admirable candor from the CDC director here. COVID-19, which is what they named the coronavirus, likely to persist beyond the season. Our president said hopefully the sun would kill it in April. Doesn't sound like a very good strategy for me, but pray. It's not at all under control, and that's what I've been telling you since the very first video. I corrected myself in the second video saying, yeah, dude, no one's got control over this. And that the internet likes to tell you that man is in control, but no, dude, God is in control. May become endemic like seasonal flu, but we lack the countermeasures we have for flu. And there have been some pretty shitty comparisons. Oh, it's just like the flu. No, it's not. In perspective, best available data suggests the virus is 2 times as transmissible as the flu and 10 to 20 times as deadly. Anywhere from a 3 to 10% kill ratio if you look at fake numbers, real numbers, guess numbers. And onlining priority preparedness measures for possible pandemic spread of COVID. World is unready for that scenario, and we have a shrinking window in which to prepare. I don't mean to quote unquote pick on our president, but what I'm saying is even Michael Jordan needed a boot in his ass at the proper times. Even Michael Jordan needed Phil Jackson, and if our president does have one Achilles heel, it would apparently be his disaster response. And so the more people on the right and on the left are saying, hey, Mr. President, we have a very serious situation here. So can you please take a break from telling us how great you are and how horrible other people are so we can all come to the table and work together to plan for this situation? Because if we wait until it's too late, then they're just going to force bad measures upon us all. And being the person in my position in China telling you, the public, anything like this has been very dangerous. They usually end up having a video where they start crying, saying, I'm not scared of you, and then they disappear. And I give my Asteroid Fight Club THORnews cheers to those brave people and men who did what they could to bring us the truth. And the videos out of China have been scary. Over the last few days, there has been a distinct shift in the USG messaging on COVID-19. No longer risk to the U.S. is low. Much more frankness on what could be coming. Very constructive. Kudos. Yes, I don't know when the attitude will change, but I guarantee you the 99% that the attitude on this thing will change across the board because the numbers continue to just increase. Did I mention this is like my least favorite subject? Happy Valentine's Day. Diane Swank agreed the ramp up in China will take much longer than many expect because of the need to prevent a secondary flare-up in contagion. Then there is the non-linearity of losses to China banking systems can only paper over losses of the most politically connected of companies. Because people are agreeing, hey, yeah, if you shut 400 million people down in a second biggest economy in the world, it's going to have major effects in the economy because it's all connected. Singapore confirmed 9 new cases Friday, linking 6 patients to a church. 13 people with ties to Grace Assembly of God have tested positive. Singapore's Catholic Archdiocese cancels public masses due to coronavirus fears. So this is not China. Singapore is in a different country, if you didn't know that. So it is now spreading to multiple countries, and events are being shut down. It's definitely been a bad time to be on a cruise ship. Diamond Princess. Hey, isn't there someone in the truth community like name that? Japan has said that 10 people evacuated from the Diamond Princess cruise ship are in serious condition as the cruise industry braces for serious losses over coronavirus fears. More people in Hubei are enacting wartime measures, selling off residential complexes, allowing only essential vehicles on the roads. Yunmeng County, anyone attempting to breach lockdown at compounds, building, or roads will be detained. And in some of the videos, it's possible some of those people were even killed that I've seen. That's what I'm saying is if our government's plan in the United States is to just distract us with bullshit stories until it gets serious, then they can just enact whenever they want. And the chances are they're just going to enact like hard laws with no planning ahead of time. And so either way, get more water, toilet paper, canned goods, prepare for like, all right, if I had to stay home for a month or two, what would I need now? And who would I want there to be with me? You know? Okay. The risk to the average American is very low right now. But I mean, that's like saying, I don't know, if you're in your bedroom and that across the hall and on the second floor, the game room are on fire, it would be like, the risk to you right now is very low, but in about 30 minutes, it'll be higher, much higher. It's kind of that if we don't do anything and we don't get more, like if this doesn't become a major focus of everybody, and I'm not saying all the time, but we need strategies because it's you know, if you're just going to shut down a normal functioning civilization for a month or two to not have this thing spread, then you got a lot of problems you can be working out together as towns, communities, states now. But hey, you know, danger and risk communication has always been tricky, and it's getting more tricky. So hopefully I'm doing a great job. The new coronavirus is taking a heavy toll on the Chinese health workers, doctors, and nurses. Authorities report more than 5,000 new cases, and then they reported 120 deaths. I believe we're up to 64,000 people infected and 1,380 something dead and 10,000 in serious condition. But very few people trust those numbers. Japanese people are being cool, apparently, and sending a bunch of the masks to the people who happen to be quarantined on the Diamond Princess cruise ship. So Japan's working together with their people. That's cute. She's cute, too. I want to do whatever I can to support them. Oh, and remember how, one thing I've been saying at THORnews for, I don't know, like all 7 years, is that for 130 years we've been in a war and oil and deception economy. And so, hey, voting machines are approved by Congress today in 1899, around the same time. Oh, slowest Eurozone growth since 2013, and that was before the pandemic. Okay, this is what we're dealing with. Niu, a 1-year-old boy, was China's first confirmed case of critically severe COVID-19 in children. After 18 days of treatment in Wuhan's hospital, he recovered and was discharged. So this sounds like a good story, except for the fact that I made a video 3 days ago that showed one hospital where they stacked 3 children in a bag that appeared to definitely be dead. And so, see what I'm talking about? Like, I didn't want to make that video, but I had to make that video in a very Asteroid Fight Club kind of a way, because if you, it's, so now they're saying, oh, hey, the first child that got the disease recovered. And clearly we saw 3 kids in one hospital in a 15-minute span that they were stacking like bricks. So we can't really trust what China's telling us. And at this point, it does not appear we can count on our government to tell us what the truth is. So I guess it's kind of weird, but hopefully the people will invite the government to start to talk about it. Scott Gottlieb, the number of new cases in Hubei province reflect infection and spread occurring after China implemented extreme quarantine measures on January 23rd. We are now about 3 weeks out from those actions. Containment and China's extreme steps seem to have failed in Hubei province. So they took a bunch of extreme steps, and it still really didn't stop the spread. 63,000 infected, 10,000 recovered. Wait, 10,000 additional. See, it's like 10,000 critical. With over 5,000 new inspection cases in a day. Anyway, but like the numbers are, anyway you slice it, the numbers are not good. And it seems like the numbers double every 3 days. And so, this is a major situation. And the sooner we all get focused on it, at least we all check in like daily for an hour America meeting going, all right, what are we going to do next? And we can spend the rest of our day getting ready and having fun and doing other stuff. But, it's like you can take a break from talking about political bullshit gossip for a week. Don't kill you. The election, weird Freudian slip, is not for 9 months. This thing is starting to get here now, and it'll be a big deal in a month. Hey, this is why you pay me the big bucks to be your planetary defense commanders. Also, I totally rely on contributions and donations and gifts. So I leave all my donation information in my information box. And I've been covering this since the get-go, even though I don't like covering it. But hey, it's part of my job, Planetary Defense Commander. So if you appreciate my work, and whatever, that's great. And you can make a contribution. And I'll do this as long as I can. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe will approve a series of emergency measures to combat the coronavirus, including earmarking about $140 million for emergency measures. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can be like, hey, man, I don't want to talk about Hillary Clinton. I'd like to discuss the freaking virus. You know, what is our plan? People are always like, trust the plan. And I'm like, well, what is it? As an outbreak of novel coronavirus has swept through Hubei province, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have been preparing for its worst-case scenario, a widespread outbreak of illness in the United States. The military is also now preparing for it. So that's what it's saying. For the last 3 years, it may have been trust the plan, but now it's what is the plan? Will the new coronavirus go away in April? President Donald Trump suggested the new coronavirus would go away in April as temperatures warm. Or he said, I hope so, because it's bad. So that's not a good strategy plan. So we should prepare that no, it won't. An infected person not showing symptoms could still transmit the coronavirus to someone else. Op-ed for a country with the world's fourth largest population, which welcomed 2 million tourists from China last year, it seems absurd that there are 0 coronavirus cases. The reality is the virus is likely in Indonesia, but undetected. More testing is needed. Roses are red, violets are blue. I got you this face mask so you won't die of the flu. Happy Valentine's Day from Hong Kong. I think Trace is there. Some Americans evacuated from China want tests for coronavirus. We're asking to get tested to make sure we're not passing anything to other people. But federal officials say the tests are less accurate before people show symptoms. CDC in Texas confirmed a traveler returned from China and quarantined at the Joint Base San Antonio tested positive for the new coronavirus. So that means coronavirus is now officially in Texas, a state I live in. Happy Valentine's Day. Vietnam quarantines a rural community of 10,000 because of coronavirus. This means we now have 2 countries which are quarantining entire cities or towns. A top infectious disease scientist warns that 2/3 of the world's population could get infected with the coronavirus. We hope he is wrong. At current mortality rate, that would be over 100 million dead. Yeah, it's getting pretty biblical. Toilet paper is the hot new currency in Singapore and Hong Kong. It's usually the first thing to go when people think, oh no, I'm getting quarantined. I'd better stock up on some stuff that I would need. So I recommend you do that now. You know, you're going to use it anyway. Yeah, there was a Yahoo Finance note where it said the highlight was, we don't have a vaccine for this. So Wall Street can be weird, man. Wall Street's optimism is premature. COVID-19 could yet become a pandemic. Would you be my Valentine? Yeah, everything is like super weird right now. You know, I need to inject more humor into this. Oh, 2020. Prophecy is best used for damage mitigation. Joe Weisenthal on David Fickling on how it's silly to say that the coronavirus is just like the flu. The president gives us daily updates on how great the stock market's doing, where I think we really need updates on the coronavirus, dude. Top infectious disease scientists warn 2/3 of the world's population could catch coronavirus that's currently spreading in China. I said that twice because that's important. All right. Public danger and risk communication is complex in 2020. I do the very best job that I can. I hope everyone takes this very seriously. United we stand, divided we fall, and get infected, baby. So I'd like it if everyone worked together. Hey, let's just take a break from politics for a week, okay? Good idea? Sounds great. Stay cool. I will bring you updates as I can. Peace out. Have a great weekend, and happy Valentine's Day. God bless everyone.